Now we will discuss issues in grammatical theory. Like many other theories, this theory is also not without concerns and issues that have been raised over the period of time with regard to its validity and the functioning and the processes that are involved in this particular theory. Several controversies exist within grammatical theory, including whether grammatical rules are psychologically real. So the important and first and foremost concern that has been raised with regard to this particular theory is the determination of or the determining of the rules which are there in this theory. Are they psychological real? Then the next point that concerns with this grammatical theory deals with the role of syntax and whether knowledge of language is innate or not. So three different issues have been proposed and have been emerged over the period of time. One is the psychological reality of the grammatical rules. Another is the role of syntax. And the third important point is the question related to the innateness of the knowledge, which is the key component of this particular theory. Psychological reality of grammar. Psychological reality, what do we mean by that? Is that this is the reality according to which, or we can say the extent to which construct of any linguistic theory can be taken to have basis in the human mind. So that reflects the cognitive structure cognitive structures that are there in the human mind. Anyways, linguists are divided on these specific definition. Another can be the role of some class of events in behavior. Behavior, and that is what the psycholinguistics deals with. That is that how, looking at the patterns, you see whether the speakers, what they actually do with the sentences. So that behavior is again something that comes under the definition of psychological reality. So belief is that structure and rules of transformational grammar were psychological real. So that they do have certain basis in or the presence in the human mind, or they do reflect the cognitive structures of human mind. And assumption is that surface structure was the starting point for comprehension and the deep structure was the ending point. So when you start with the surface structure and then getting into the inferencing, interpretation, underlying meaning, and that takes you to the deep structure of any text or any passage. Now, with regard to the issues, we will see how these issues have been generated. And the first and foremost is to do with the derivational theory of complexity. Now, this derivational theory of complexity, which is DTC, has to do with the psychological reality of grammar. Now, this particular view is based on the assumption, and the assumption that we have already discussed under the psychological reality of grammar, which was that surface structure was the starting point and deep was at the end. Now, the roles were assumed to be reversed for the production. So if so, then it would be reasonable to assume that the distance between surface and deep structure would be an accurate index of the psychological complexity of the sentence. Now, this view is what is known as derivational theory of complexity, DTC. So, variety of studies showed, and especially the early studies we are talking about, negative sentences were not difficult to comprehend, such as the sun is not shining. So, these kinds of negative sentences where you have negation factor, they are not difficult to comprehend. Then the corresponding affirmative form, which can be the sun is shining. So this was there in the early studies. Later studies directly contradicted DTC. Now, sentences, for example, the boy was bitten, the boy was bitten, and the boy was bitten by the wolf, the boy was bitten by the wolf. So is basically, if you look at it, this one, this can be considered as 39, and this, the other one where it says the boy was bitten by the wolf, was number 40. So sentence, the boy was bitten, for example, transformationally more complex than the boy was bitten by the wolf. Now in transformational theory, the first sentence, which is the boy was bitten, requires a transformation that deletes the phrase by the wolf. So DTC would predict it would be more difficult to comprehend than the boy was bitten by the wolf. However, neither intuition nor experiment has relieved any relationship to processing difficulty. Similarly, there is no psychological difference between sentences that have undergone particle movement transformation and those that have not. Now, the centrality of syntax is another area which is connected to this, where Chomsky proposes syntax structure, which is the heart of our linguistic knowledge, and it is also controversial. Now, Chomsky eliminated many of the transformational rules in the previous version of grammar and replaced them with broader rules, such as rules that moves one constituent from one location to another. It was this kind of rule on which the trace studies were based, number of trace studies were based. Although newer versions of theory differ in several respects from the original, at the deep level, they share the idea that syntactic structure is at the heart of our linguistic knowledge. Then we have lexical functional grammar was psychologically realistic grammar or not. We have the lexical function grammar, which basically deals with the lexical entries, and they also include various forms of words, for example, do, doing, and the different kind of sentences into which each form would fit. So looking at the lexical function grammar, looking at the lexical entries, lexical form, and how these forms would fit into different sentences. For verb, this includes the arguments or semantic roles, such as the agent, the person who is doing the action. So agent is the person who is doing the action. And the patient, the one to whom the action is directed, that are associated with the verb, as well as the surface structure designation, such as subject or object that goes with it. So this is the centrality of syntax that has been associated with the issues as far as the grammatical theory is concerned. The important question which has been under the discussion for quite some period of time is the innateness of the language. Now, some evidence in support of the nativist view has come from children with limited linguistic experience. In certain situations in which children are not presented with any consistent linguistic model, they appear to have the capacity to invent some aspect of language. Now, this has been seen in deaf children whose parents did not believe in teaching of American Sign Language, or they believed in the teaching of American Sign Language. So, again, this comes from the fact that how is it possible that with limited information in the mind, the children can generate infinite number of expressions. So the question can be, what kind of linguistic capacities might be inborn? Current thinking centers on the concept of parameters. A parameter is a grammatical feature that can be set off or that can be set to any of several rules. For example, null subject parameter. It deals with whether a language permits constructions that have no subjects. Now, this parameter has two values: null subject, which means the language allows sentences without a subject, and second is subject. That means the language requires subjects for sentences to be grammatical. The issues include the difficulty in comprehending negative sentences, whether our grammatical knowledge is better described in structural or lexical terms, and finally, whether our linguistic knowledge may be innate or not.